Hello and welcome to episode 0 of Carved in Stone, a podcast where I pick a topic and build my own personal Mount Rushmore. So basically my top 4. Not a top 10, not a deep dive, just 4 names, faces, products, or moments that I think belong on the mountain. I'm your host, Shawn Chabam, and before we get rolling, I want to be clear, I'm not doing this to be right. This podcast isn't about creating the definitive list or settling old arguments, though I know a lot of people will probably have opinions if they're listening, and that's okay. But for me, this show is more about taking a moment and asking what really stuck with me. What performers, moments, movies, songs, whatever the topic is, left a lasting impression on me. What deserves to be chiseled in stone because it shaped how I think, what I love, or how I remember a certain time in my life. So each episode, I'll pick a topic, could be anything: pro wrestling, rock music, heck, fast food fries, and I'll carve out the 4 that stand above the rest for me. The ones that hit hard, the ones that stuck. I'll also talk about who almost made it and why some choices that might seem obvious don't show up on my list at all. Some episodes will be nostalgic, some might be funny, some might just be me trying to work through why something mattered in the first place to me. The criteria might shift a little depending on the topic: influence, greatness, impact, personal connection, but the heart of it stays the same. It's about what I've carved in stone. One thing I do want to mention is, in case you couldn't tell from the decor behind me, I am a massive Philadelphia sports fan. So you may see some biases there, but what I'm going to try to do is be upfront about said biases, and for a decent amount of my sports lists, I'm going to do the Philly Mount Rushmore. So you may see the Mount Rushmore of Eagles running backs or Flyers goalies for the sports lists. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, but I'm going to mainly stick with things from my lifetime. So I'm not going to do a home run hitters episode and talk your ear off about Babe Ruth. I want to focus not only on players from my lifetime, but also guys I'm old enough to remember. For instance, I think Flyers legend Bobby Clark technically played a little bit in my lifetime. I was born in '81, but I don't remember seeing him play. I'm not old enough to remember. He won't end up on my mountain just because I want to focus on people who I actually can recall seeing them out there. No guests for now. That could change in the future, and I hope it does. I'd love to have some friends on and see how our lists compare. But to start, just honest reflection, storytelling, and a little ranking fun along the way. If you're the kind of person who likes thinking about why things matter, or if you've ever caught yourself mentally building a Mount Rushmore of your own, this might be the show for you. So let's get going. Episode 1 is up next, and I'm starting with a topic I love: professional wrestling. Specifically, I will be building my jobber Mount Rushmore. The era I grew up with, the golden era, used jobbers, or enhancement talent, regularly on weekly shows to elevate the stars. Sometimes a jobber would show up once and never be heard from again. Sometimes they appeared frequently, and I'll talk about the guys who kept showing up and losing over and over again. So that's carved in stone. I can't wait to start chipping away. Go Birds!